The sun was like beaming really bright earlier, and of course as soon as I started filming it was like sayonara, so
Look up from your telescope, take me on this journey home. I don't wanna wait no more.
hey YouTube, how's life? So I'm literally sitting in a mess of plants right now, kind of crazy. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, I can't lie, but I'm gonna try to get through as many of these as possible. I'm just going to be either transplanting or planting them. Okay, hang on, I have to get a couple plates. Alright, I'm just gonna jump right into this video. I don't have any organizational plan right now, so editing me is gonna have to figure that out. I always put all the pressure on editing me, and then I wonder why it takes me so long to edit videos. I do that for school too, so it is what it is. I'm going to be doing two things at once, which is either going to go really well or really poorly. Probably really poorly, but I'm gonna try. So I'm going to be repotting a lot of these plants. I'm gonna be doing that while talking about my spring semester, because I was gonna do a get ready with me talking about my spring semester, but that's like all I film on this channel, and it is so boring, because it is so boring watching me do the same makeup look over and over again. Like, if I'm bored, then I can't imagine how people watching my videos would be. So I was like, let me do something else, and this is something that I've had to do for a while now. Some of these, like, literally I've had to repot this one for like months. I don't know how it's not dead. There's not even any water in this. I want to talk about my spring semester because that's starting in 2 days. 2 days. I had a ton of videos that I wanted to make. I wanted to do like a get ready with me talking about my spring semester, and then I also was thinking about doing like supplies, what I'm using for my spring semester, but honestly both of those I didn't feel like doing them. So honestly the only things that I use are like my laptop, my iPad, my knockoff Apple Pencil, my mom's printer, and her computer, because my MacBook doesn't print to her computer and I haven't put in the time to save up for a printer that works with my computer. Planner, I actually have 2 planners, but I'll probably explain that in some other vlog. And like sticky notes, and sometimes I use a notebook, but most of the time I just use GoodNotes on my iPad. So I was like gonna be like a 2-minute long video. See, I'm already done. So for supplies, I have various plants in various pots. I don't know if this one's dead or not. It doesn't look alive. And then I have some new pots that I got at Ocean State Job Lot, and by I mean my mother. We could probably use more flower pots if we want to like get jazzy ones. Like, look at this one that my mom got the other day. Very pretty. There was a spider previously in that succulent, and my mom repotted it, and then she was like, oh yeah, the spider just fell off. But spiders do not just fall off, so that means that it's somewhere in my living room, and I'm not looking forward to the day I find it. As I was saying, so supplies, I have some flower pots. I have 2 plates for these pots. If my mom's watching this, this is where these 2 plates went. But it's a sacrifice for the greater good, because you know what? We have a million plates. I think I have 2 of these that I'm gonna use, and then I have this thing. If you're wondering what the heck, let me explain. This is for either dead plants or just compost that I have to get rid of. For example, yeah, so this has to go. Okay, I have water. It's definitely not enough water, but it's water. I have these oh god, we're fine. I have these little guys. 2 of them are basil, and then this one, I don't know if it's parsley or cilantro. All I can smell is the soil and the basil. Based on the leaves, I'm gonna guess that's parsley, and then these ones I can tell are basil. 1, I can smell it, and 2, I just looking at the leaves, I know that that's basil. Oh god, I'm making a mess already. So I think what I'm gonna do is wet the soil in the pot, because I know I'm not gonna be using this whole massive bag of potting soil. So I'm just going to hydrate the soil in the pot, which this could potentially be a really bad idea. So now that there's soil in the pot, I'm gonna take this guy out of this pot and gonna get rid of some of this crumbling. I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those like things where they say that it can grow through it, and it can go through it. It's just, I don't know, I feel like some of it is sort of hindering its growth. So I'm gonna peel a little bit of this former pot off. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, right there you can see it. I'm not gonna peel the bottom part off because the roots are growing out through that. I don't want to damage the roots too much, so I'm just gonna leave the bottom alone and then lay that in. There's a lot of room on the side, so what I'm gonna do is add some extra potting soil, and I'm just gonna fill in the gaps. While I'm doing that, let me just talk about, first of all, let me explain my college situation going on right now. So I am getting soil everywhere. You could say I soiled the living room. Get it? Because soil. Anyways, so I'm a freshman in college right now, and I go to Lesley University, which is a like medium-sized school in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So I'm not going to school out of state, thankfully. I don't have to pay that. Oh my god, out of state tuition? Why is out of state tuition a thing? But look at that, it's all tucked in there. Wait, did I have another? Oh my god, I had another parsley plant I was gonna put in there. I think I'm just gonna push this guy over. Got a little crater. a little bit of water in there. What was I saying? I go to Lesley University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, so same state. I don't have to pay out-of-state tuition. My school chose to be online for the spring semester, which I'm not upset about. This is like crumbly soil, so I'm not like mad that it's online because these are just not coming out, are they? Come on, little guy. At the same time, I do kind of wish that I didn't really get a lot of the freshman experience. Like, I didn't house in a dorm, I didn't have roommates, didn't leave home. I'm still studying in my childhood bedroom. I definitely still got that freshman 15 though. And the thing is, I didn't get to experience a lot of what freshmen in college got to experience. Spilling water everywhere. You know, I didn't get to study on campus, which is something that I was really bummed about fall semester because, you know, since I'm like an art student, we get access to art studios. Not necessarily art studios because I'm not a fine arts major, I'm a film major. It's so much easier to collaborate with other film majors when we get like group projects because you can actually talk to them in person and one person's holding the camera, another person's like, you know, doing production stuff and whatever. It is so hard to do group projects on Zoom. Yeah, I just was able to make some friends, which I'm really grateful for. I love my new college friends, but it's not really the same when I can't really work with them and I can't really see them. I don't even know how tall half of them are because I just haven't met them in person because they're all out in eastern Massachusetts and I am in western Massachusetts. It is what it is. Here's my plant, by the way. Look at it. Look at her go. Little parsley guy. Alright, she's all set now. So now moving on to, I don't know what the heck I got this for. I got this, but I don't know what I'm gonna put in it. Good on me for doing that. So moving on, I'm gonna put the basil in a pot. I don't want to see any macaroni in the pot comments. We're not doing that. No more WAP memes. Yeah, so that's how I felt about like Zoom University my fall semester. And now that it's spring semester, I've kind of just accepted the fact that it is what it is. Sorry, I have to get more potting soil. Going into my spring semester, I'm definitely more prepared both emotionally and mentally because I doubt it's going to be that different from the fall semester as far as like how classes are going to work. I don't think the dynamic is going to be that different. I took more classes with friends this semester, so hopefully that will work in my favor because I don't know, I made really close friends with pretty much everyone in my cinema class. That was my Tuesday class at 8 in the morning last semester, and now I have it again at 8 in the morning this semester, and I have 2 other classes at 8 in the morning this semester, so I'm hoping that goes well. Do I need more soil in this? Yes, I do. There's no soil in this one, so I need more soil. Yeah, as I was saying before, I lost my train of thought because I don't know why, I just did. So as I was saying before, I definitely think that I'm more prepared, like both mentally and emotionally for this semester because last semester I was going in completely blind. I didn't know what to expect. I have taken a college class before, so it's like I know what Silly Week is. I know how that works because I did dual enrollment at a community college because I just love adding extra stress to my plate. I mean, I don't regret taking those classes. Those are some of the best classes that I ever took during my like high school tenure or whatever. But it's not that I didn't know what to expect from a college class. It's just other than an AP art history class that I took online, I don't count AP classes out as college classes. I'm sorry. If you're one of those people that is like, I took AP classes, so I'm basically taking a college course. Credits wise, yes. Dynamic wise, absolutely not. I didn't know what to expect from the professors, from the class setting, from my classmates, but now this semester, I think I'm pretty prepared. I know what's gonna go down. You're probably wondering, what the heck are you doing? I am punching holes into this, if you can see those little divots, little craters, so I can put the little basil guys in there. Anyways, let's see if I can fit 4 in here. Yeah, I know what to expect dynamic wise in a class, I think, at least for the most part. It's definitely still probably gonna be awkward the first couple weeks because I don't know who else is gonna be in my class, in my non-film classes. The way that I understand it to work is you take a couple classes that are related to your major. Basically at my school, when you're a freshman, you have to take pretty much almost all of your classes have to be related to your major, so you're allowed to take up to 6 classes. So as a freshman, you have to take 5 of your required classes that are required for the major that you pick. You can take 1 additional class. I am really excited to learn again because I don't think I've learned, actually that's not true. I learned a lot during winter break, but not like educational things. I learned life lessons, but that's for another video. I haven't really learned anything academic over winter break. This is like untangling earbuds, except that they're alive, so you have to be really gentle. Now I'm a little scared. So as I was saying before, I'm excited to learn again because I actually really missed this one professor that I have for part 2 of this course. He's my cinema professor, and I really missed his advice because I've had a couple ideas for stories or like movies and stuff, but I kind of wanted to like run it by him and be like, hey, does this sound interesting, or has this been done a million times? Because I have not watched nearly as many movies and films that I would have wanted to have watched at this point. Like, for example, people are gonna hate me when I say this, but I haven't seen Inception. I'm sorry, I know. I feel like every film major, they get into film because they saw the movie Inception. Sorry, I'm gonna watch it eventually. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I haven't watched nearly as many movies at this point as I would have wanted to have watched. So sometimes I'll think of an idea and be like, I have no idea if this is like totally cliche or not because I just haven't seen as many films as I would have wanted to. I kind of like that my professor literally has like an encyclopedic knowledge of other films that have been created, because he is not full-time right now because we are still in a pandemic. Other influencers want to admit it or not, we are still in a pandemic, so he's not full-time director, producer right now. He did create a handful of indie films, and I don't know if he's done a documentary. I know my other professor did a documentary, and then my English professor last semester did like a documentary on, I think, Shakespeare. The basil guys have made it into the pot. I just dripped water all over my leg, but they're in a pot. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour more soil in there. A couple of them you can still see the roots, and it's not really beneficial to keep shoving them down when it is a bigger pot. So I think what I'm just gonna do is put more soil on top and they can hopefully grow out. I don't know if that's really what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna give them the opportunity to try. All right, this does smell really good. Like, I know that this is not top quality soil whatsoever, but it does smell really good. All done. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at that basil go. I have so much basil in my house. I don't really need any more basil because I think I already have like 2 basil plants, but here's another one. I guess I could put this in here. It doesn't look it, but this is slightly bigger than this. But I'm just gonna put some more soil into this pot. I'm gonna see if I can fit a basil plant in here. Which one of you is the worthy champion? You're vibing in this pot, so I think I'm gonna go with you because you seem to look like you've outgrown this. So I'm gonna go with you. My phone is caked in, you can't see it, but it's caked in soil. Back to my school chat. When it comes to Zoom University, I found that buying the textbook is almost completely useless most of the time. Last semester was quite stressful, especially like the first half of the semester, because I was balancing a lot of different like things in my life. I was still trying desperately for the first like month of school to take care of my garden outside. That didn't really work. Whatever survived is in my house right now and I'm sitting in them. I was still trying to take care of my garden, which is a really minor thing, and that I didn't take that much time out of my day to do that. I was taking care of my dogs. My mom and I take turns, taking them out and stuff, but I did, check on them every once in a while. I'm fully responsible for my rabbit upstairs, so I really have to clean her cage after this video, clean a lot of things after this video. And I also had a part-time job. I don't know if I can really call it a part-time job because like technically if it qualifies as like part-time, it has to be a certain amount of hours, yada yada. I was working a job couple days a week, and then once it got a little bit colder out and it was like October, it went from like 3 times a week, 4 times a week to like twice a week, and it was just getting a little bit difficult to keep up with both school and work, because what happened a lot of times is I'd work a day on a weekend, like for example I'd work Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, whatever, and then I'd work Thursday morning because I didn't have any classes in the morning on Thursday. I only had 1 class at 4 o'clock during my fall semester, and actually that's the same for my spring semester. It just kind of worked out that way. So I'd come in on Thursday mornings to open, and I would be so tired. I would just be so tired because I was up late, doing homework. And then on the weekend, I'd be working. I'd work the one day, and typically when I worked, I didn't really do a lot of hard assignments because it was very draining. I worked in an ice cream place. It was still like a fair amount of manual labor, and it was kind of a lot. Look at it. Look at it go. Look at it. She's thriving. He's thriving. They're thriving. I don't know their pronouns. It's a plant. Look at it go. So I'm 2 plants in, I think. 3 plants in. I'm 3 plants in. I could put this in this, I guess, but this doesn't drain. Actually, okay, this one's a little dirty. Could use some help, but maybe this can go in this one, unless would this one be a better fit? I think this would be a better fit. We'll put this one in this pot. Let me get a tray. The amount of times I've spilled soil on myself. Okay, running out of water, so I think we're gonna call it soon. Overall, I'd say I am excited for school. Oh my god, that is definitely not something I said during high school. The breaks off from my high school never felt long enough. And I say that with all the respect in my heart for the teachers that taught at my high school. When I'd have breaks off for high school, I dreaded going back. I distinctly remember like winter break last year, dreading going back to high school because so many people in my high school, like, while for the most part, I'd like to say for the most part, people weren't raised racist, at least not with malicious intent. Like, they weren't white supremacists, but they were just because it was a predominantly white town. A lot of them were pretty ignorant with like things that they would say or do, or like there were a lot of microaggressions being thrown around, and I dreaded going back because there was just like a lot of anti-Asian sentiment. There's a lot of anti-minority sentiment in general. Like, my high school was a very predominantly white, straight, able-bodied community. Pretty much every minority had their struggles going to school, and it didn't always, at least for me, feel like a welcome environment. But like, for me specifically, just talking about my experience, I did not want to go back to school because I felt like I just felt like I didn't fit in because I wasn't white, and people would just sort of say things like, I remember like right before Christmas break, someone had said in my government class, they were in denial that the US is the country that produces the most trash. They were like, no, it definitely has to be a country in Asia because like it's Asia, like full of trash, and because they have all of those third world countries in Asia. And I just remember thinking like, wow, that's first of all kind of xenophobic, and second of all really harsh. I remember just being really mad because things like that were said all the time, or like people would be like, oh my god, the amount of dog jokes people would make, the amount of dog jokes. And so for all of those reasons, I did not want to go back to high school. Look at it go, look at it, beautiful. I kind of spent a lot of my Christmas break just being like, this kind of sucks. Like, it didn't feel like Christmas, and looking back, I'm trying not to think about it too much because then I'll just get sad and be like, I wasted the Christmas holiday, and now I have to wait like 360 days, not 350 days, 340 days, whatever, until it comes back around again to be like, yay, Christmas music, Christmas cookies. And I feel like it kind of passed me by a little bit. But at the same time, it didn't feel the same without my grandparents. It didn't feel the same without my cousins and my uncle and my aunt. It didn't feel the same without them. And wait, hold on, I just had an idea. I'm gonna put this basil plant in this pot. It's not as pretty, but it's gonna go in this pot, and then I put this pot into this pot. I'm a genius. Okay, anyway, gonna put more soil in this. It didn't feel the same during winter break, and then quite literally one of the first things to happen in the new year, we were going strong for like 5 days, and then January 6th rolls around, and not only did the Capitol building get stormed by white supremacists and Trump supporters, but my dog also died. Mentally, at the moment, my dog dying took over my emotions more than that, because honestly, at the time, I was super mad about everything that was happening politically, but at the same time, I just lost my childhood dog, and you know, emotions were very high in this household. I decided that like for my mental health, I just needed to disconnect from politics for a couple days and not look at the news that much. What the heck? You were really stuck in there, my friend. Like, it's like Dairy Queen where they do the, okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. That's not good for this plant. So I'm trying really hard to be gentle, but this soil is very packed in there. So I'm trying to like dig around the plant's root without breaking too many of the roots, but I cannot find the bottom of this plant. Yeah, like my winter break, honestly, I think another reason why I'm so excited to go back to school is because it gives me a purpose. And I don't mean that in a deep existential way. I just mean it gives me something to do day to day, because you know, during the fall semester, my default, my mom would come into my room and be like, hey, are you doing something right now? And I'll be like, oh, I'm doing homework, or I'm in a class, or I'm in a break, but my class is gonna start up again in like 5 minutes, whatever. But during winter break, it was a lot of me just kind of sitting around. While I was happy to have time to relax, sometimes I'd be like, I want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do right now. And I wasn't really motivated artistically for the majority of breaks. I had writer's block, I had artist block, I had a block where I didn't know what kind of YouTube videos I wanted to make, and so I didn't really film many of those, even though I said I was going to and wanted to, but I just didn't, sorry. And then my dog died, and then I was in a slump, and then I entertained the idea of getting a cat for like 2 days, and then I realized that that's a terrible idea, and I'm not gonna get a cat. And I say that's a terrible idea because my house is not fit for a cat. I think I have several plants that are toxic for cats, and I don't really want to part with them right now. But most importantly, my mom is allergic to cats, so I'd have to get a cat that she's not drastically allergic to. So no longer entertaining that idea. Ta-da! Now that I've had, I think, about a month, maybe a month and a half off from school, I'm definitely ready to go back, and I want to make the most of my freshman year as much as I can. I definitely won't be doing a lot of the things that freshmen in college do. Maybe that's for the better in certain cases, but I wish there was more. I wish there was more human interaction, because I miss actually seeing people in person. But at the same time, COVID cases still fluctuating. They're going up and down, and I think generally speaking, they're still going up. So I understand why we're still online, but at the same time, I kind of wish we were going back, but it is what it is. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at her go. Look at them. Anyways, hype up your plants. It's important. It helps them grow. Oh my god, that reminds me of the Jena Marbles video. She's just like, do blah 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 for your ceramide. It helps them grow. Stupid reference. I'm gonna try to make the most of my freshman year, and I don't know if I'm necessarily going to enjoy all of my classes because I am not a huge fan of art history classes. Take one of those, and I'm also taking 3 classes at 8 in the morning, and I'm not a morning person. But I'm gonna do my best. Okay, I'm gonna take my gloves off because for the most part I'm done. I'll put them back on when I clean this mess up. My leg is completely numb. Okay, to wrap up this video, I just want to say that in summary, college is not affordable. It is very expensive. Even like community college is like getting more expensive these days, and so I'm thankful that I even have the opportunity to study at a university, even though it's not the ideal situation, and I'm gonna try to make the most of it. I did max out my credits, so we'll see how that takes a toll on my psyche, and I definitely want to vlog more. That is something that I want to promise myself. I want to vlog more. I did learn a lot about Premiere Pro during winter break making these videos, so that is something that I would like to improve, and as a hobby, I really do enjoy making videos, even if it doesn't always seem it, because I'm kind of tired sometimes, and I don't always have the same energy that I'd want to have on YouTube. And like other creators, I feel like some creators are just really hyper, and like they are clearly passionate about what they're doing, and I don't always give off that energy, especially when I'm editing it. I'll be like, wow, I look so bored, or I look so tired, and it's just because I don't sleep. I do set pretty high standards for myself, so sometimes it kind of weighs on like my mental health or my energy in particular situations, and so sometimes that comes across in videos where it doesn't look like I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but I do actually really like making YouTube videos, and I want to make more this semester because I didn't really film nearly as much as I wanted to last semester. So up and rising college YouTuber, here I come. So yeah, that's something that I really want to do. I want to try to film more YouTube videos this semester and sort of get into regularly posting. I'm going to try to post every Thursday, and then if I make like little videos here and there, maybe I'll do 2 times a week, but I'm not promising 2 times a week because I can't. But for now, I'm gonna try to stick to every Thursday unless something really bad happens, and maybe I'll skip a week, but I'm gonna aim for every Thursday starting last week because I uploaded the skincare video on a Thursday. So starting from there, I'm going to try to upload every Thursday. If you liked this video, if you got anything out of my rambling, because I've been sitting here for probably an hour and I have no idea what I said for half of it. So if you got anything out of this video, give it a thumbs up because that's the thing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!